What I'm tempted to do here with others, like, as you mentioned, Wendell Pritchett, is, make...
I'm on your side, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but what we're trying to do, we're trying to counter this argument that is dominant. I mean, this argument is pervasive in terms of pointing to black power as the culprit. And it's not just in Brownsville. I mean, you can look at studies in housing, right? There was a book recently, Rochdale, Queens, where the argument was that, this was an experiment to integrate this, create an integrated community. And what destroyed it? Black power militants. There's a book written on Newark, in the 1970s, right, and turning into, well, what took place there? Once again, we see black power coming to the fore and essentially going after white teachers. So, I mean, this argument is like everywhere. Actually, I'm watching part of Eyes on the Prize and hearing some of the arguments, Eyes on the Prize too, where they cover the struggle for community control. And that argument comes up even in the documentary.
We're talking about the Black Panthers, we're talking about the NAACP. It's not even, it's really too
black
big a
power
blanket term.
right,
It's a too big a blanket term to use, really, is it?
Yes, and what people mean by black, with those folks like Callenberg and Vince Canado in his book on John Lindsay and others, what they mean by black power. They are talking about folks who are either dashikis or black berets and black jackets who are sort of out of control, making demands on the system, simply trying to take it over, drive whites out of the teaching profession, or drive them out of the community. This is what they mean by that. And as you know, you are correct. Black power is clearly much more complicated than that. The Forrest Gump version of black power. You've seen that silly movie. When the Black Panthers he's in the Black Panther headquarters and he fights this guy and they finally throw him out. That kind of silliness.
In a lot of ways, this was a grassroots movement after many years of being felt as being underserved. And once it became nationalized, I think that attracted more national attention for the larger, quote-unquote, black power groups.
That's right, and the agenda was very, very diverse, right? So we had folks who were fighting for economic empowerment. You had people who were involved in the cultural realm when it comes to black power. Community control was one aspect of black power. So yeah, I mean, black power was a diverse movement. There was a lot of characters, a lot of leaders involved in the movement.
And infighting probably as well.
I'm sorry?
A lot of infighting within the movement.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, yes. I mean, that goes without saying. Yes?
But don't you think a tripwire was crossed? I think you, early on in your lecture, you mentioned a number of teachers were let go by the community activists.
Yeah, by the school board.
All right, now isn't that a tripwire? UFT, when they see that, is going to jump right in and say, stop. We're not going to allow this. That's when Al Shanker came to the forefront and it basically went out on a strike. So
Yeah,
don't you think that the power struggle is between the UFT and the community activists, really?
I understand the union's support for due process. That was the argument early on during the strike. And Al Shanker changed that narrative quickly. And it moved from struggling for due process to we are being attacked by black militants. In addition, we are being attacked because, not only because we are white, but also because we're Jewish. And it's Al Shanker who got a hold of an anonymous leaflet that was clearly anti-Semitic made 500,000 copies, passed them throughout the city, said, see, this is what I'm talking about. And said, this originated from the school board. He had no evidence whatsoever for that. And so he sort of pushes his line, he sort of poisons the way. No discussion of what took place earlier. Because I think that's an important story that I laid out there, you know, of how the Black and Latinos communities grew to resent what they saw as teachers' interest, because it didn't include them. 1967, before the 68 strike, there was a 1967 strike led by the UFT. And it wasn't just for higher wages. One of the demands which irritated Black and Latino parents was this argument that something has to be done with unruly kids and need to be taken out of the schools and sent to, you know, specialized schools, 600 schools, and you know, so he made that issue about Black and Latino children, which once again demonstrated to the Black and Latino parents that the union was not clearly not on their side.
And I think another element was the UFT saying that they would not be able to govern the schools. They don't have the expertise
Yes.
to you know.
That's right. That's correct. I'm sorry.